Welcome, everybody. Let's go Niners. My name is Jason Aponte. What's up? I'm Jason Aponte. 49ers win. There's a minute 51 left in this, but there's no point in even watching this game anymore. Just hope that everybody gets off the field healthy. And I guess that's where we should start, clearly, with the biggest news today is, Trey Lance season over, confirmed by Adam Schefter. The ankle was literally flipped to the other side, pretty much just like Dak Prescott. So if you understand that, then you kind of know what's going on. It's hard to be excited about this one, man. It really is. First of all, let me just say this. The Seattle Seahawks stink. And the 49ers were going to do this to them regardless because they're not good. They're not good at all, right? Like the game result is whatever. Like, they were going to do this. Like, a lot of, again, the anxiety, everything was about how the 49ers would respond against a Seattle Seahawks team that has ripped their heart out so many times. But the Seattle Seahawks team stinks. They're not good. Nobody ever really thought this game was ever going to be lost. I think the result now is just, at this point, trivial. You needed to get this win. That's fine. Now you're going to roll into Denver. But this just doesn't feel good, man. It really doesn't. And I think that I feel bad for the kid for two reasons. Obviously, the injury. He's gone for the year. It's the injury sucks, but the year of development. It's now another year that you're pushing back his development. Another year where you're going to say here, this, that, this many starts. Oh, and it literally resets the stupid conversations that we have been having. That the national media has been having. It literally reignites those things. It does. It brings it right back. Because now he's only got 5 starts. And now it's another season. It's hard for me to celebrate a win that the 49ers were going to win regardless, because Seattle stinks when this happens. Now, switching this a little bit over, it's a good thing that they kept Jimmy Garoppolo, huh? Because this would look way worse if it was Brock Purdy. And again, this wasn't the plan for them to bring back Jimmy. This kind of just happened in that way. So at least the team will be, competent and moving. And that's what Jimmy Garoppolo did. But it's just hard to be excited about this one, man. It really is. Like, I labeled this one numb, but it's just tough. I hate it for the kid. I do, man. I really do. And I hate it for the fact that obviously he's going to be injured, and I feel for him. But I hate it because now it's another year of not playing. And now next year, everybody gets to regurgitate the same bullshit that they've been saying about the kid, right? Except Garoppolo's probably not going to be back next year. So everybody's going to regurgitate the same bullshit, and they're going to say this and that about the kid, and then it's going to be Brock Purdy as the backup. I feel I'm gutted for the kid. It's the most bittersweet win that I've ever been a part of. And for people, if you guys are going to allude to something, I felt the same way when Jimmy went down in 2020 and he had to leave the game and he was going to be out for a while. I'd never want to see any player ever get injured, let alone the guy that's supposed to be the franchise quarterback. But at the same time, Jimmy Garoppolo's here. And it's time to just shift and move towards him. I'll tell you this, the expectations, and Akash brought this up on Get Playback while we were doing the show, the expectations of this team changes. Because I think a lot of us went through, bumps and bruises. Well, now, Jimmy Garoppolo's here. So how this season goes, I don't want to hear it anymore. And yeah, I'm going to jump right out in front of it right now and tell you. I don't want to hear it anymore because he's getting the start now. It's his season. Jimmy's back. All that stuff that everybody talked about Super Bowl roster, can't wait to Super Bowl roster. Okay, it's here. Let's see. Now, it's on you. Now it's on you, Jimmy. Everybody that said you can't waste this and that, okay. Now, go into Denver now. Go win these games. Go push them to where everybody swears they're going to be, because everybody has a glass crystal ball when it comes to, Jimmy Garoppolo, he can not waste this roster. Yeah, like as if there aren't circumstances that go past winning football games and moving to the Super Bowl. Like as if the best roster, the best quarterback, the best coach. They always win the Super Bowl, which never happens. But okay, y'all got what y'all wanted. That section of fans that I'm talking to, y'all got what y'all wanted. Please don't believe, please believe that we're not about to let this slide. If this team falls short now, oh, we on your head. So you got what you wanted. You got what you wanted. But just know the expectations have changed. They've changed because you told me that he's the best chance for this team to win. Now go do it. Now go do it. Because if you don't, ooh, my God. Can't waste the Super Bowl roster, right? Here it is. You got what you wanted. You better stand on what you said because none of us are going to let that live. None of us. None. This team falls short. This team loses a bunch of games. This team doesn't make the playoffs. You know where we're going with this. That's it. Stand on it. Because if you don't, we're all going to pull it on you. Every single person that said all that about best team, best chance to win, all that roster, cool. You got what you wanted. Jimmy just wins, right? Let's see it. Good thing they brought him back. I'm happy. Best backup quarterback in football. Hands down. But man, it's on him now. And it's on all those people that have been talking crazy about Trey Lance and about how they were wasting the season with the development. Okay? Season's not wasted. We on your head now. Now, you get it done. All you people that told me that this team couldn't go down the road of development with this kid, you got your chance. Promise you, though, if this thing goes sideways, and I don't want it to, I want this team to succeed. If this goes sideways, we're not letting it slide. I'm telling you right now. You asked for this, you got it. He better ball. This team better win games. Because I don't want to hear excuses about offensive line. I don't want to hear excuses about rookies, anything like that, because you weren't ready to give that to Trey. The people that were level-headed, and I'm not talking to everybody. The people that were everybody, most of you guys were very level-headed when it came to that in terms of, rookie development, bumps and bruises. Well, run it back. Now we're going to see. Yeah. Trey did win. Submit. Goes down as a win for Trey Lance. Jimmy Garoppolo knows better than anybody what it's like to start a game and get credited with a win. Thanks for playing yourself and thanks for coming. James Williams, donation. Appreciate you. The defense really stepped up today. They allowed 0 points. Love it. Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of positives in this game. It's just hard to get behind the positives. Trey was going to win this game, but then you would have said it was just Seattle. They stink. Seattle's garbage. I mean, I hope you guys watched week 1 for them in Denver. They're not good. Just because Denver, who is now struggling with Houston, by the way, just because Denver played themselves doesn't mean that Seattle was ever good. So nobody really sat there and said anything like that. So, look, is what it is. 49ers win. They take care of business. Good to see Jeff Wilson looking much better. He looked great. But it just sucks, man. It really does, man. This is the most bittersweet win ever. First of all, you don't want to see anybody ever get injured. I hate it. Like when Dak Prescott went down, the game's better when, the plans are right and you have everybody in the game. And I'm glad Jimmy's here because he, like I said, best backup. And now, but it's about now what everybody has to say about where Jimmy Garoppolo's at and what this team is. Okay. You got it now. You guys got your wish. Now let's see it. Because if they don't, you know where I'm headed with it. Shout out to everybody in here. 10 minutes in, 255 people in here. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for when we go live. 49ers win. Going home. The only reason they scored was because of a block field goal. Going home, the defense was great. Nobody really suspected that the Seattle Seahawks were going to be able to move the ball. That's why they pulled out all those trick plays. They had to do something. That offense wasn't going to get it done regardless. So at this point, good win. Let's move on to Denver. Let's get it going. And again, you couldn't have asked for a better situation in terms of quarterback coming in, because if this was Nate Sudfeld, if this was Brock Purdy, this would feel a lot different. So yeah, I mean, Jimmy's got a shot, man. Jimmy's going to be auditioning for where he's going to be playing next year. Good. I think this is great. I think that, in that way, this is the one good thing that you could say about it is, the 49ers have somebody who's very capable, somebody who's can slide right back in. It's just, again, this sucks, man. The kid, that ankle was twisted the other way. It looks like that. Looks like that. So, hey, at this point, we get to stop discussing. I think this is the silver lining. We get to stop discussing whether they should make a move to this guy, move to that guy. Is this offense going? Now, that's it. It's done. Jimmy's the quarterback. Go for it. Like, that's it. Just go. And again, I think the 49ers were going to do this regardless. Seattle stinks. They're just not a good team at all. But yeah, like, let's move now. Now we don't have to worry about that. Now let's get the business. Now it's really, expectations are really, because there's no development for Jimmy Garoppolo. The expectations are really what? Go back to where you were. Go back to where you were and compete for a Super Bowl, like everybody tells me. So that's it. Greg, I pray that we don't rush Trey back early, just like Shanahan did with RG3. This injury is 100% on Kyle's horrible play calling. Greg, thank you for the donation, first of all. It's really hard to sit here, especially when all these emotions for many people are raw, right? Like, everybody's upset. Everybody feels a certain way about it. It's hard to automatically blame Kyle because Trey offered so much with his legs, in terms of how the offense operated. Like, you couldn't put him straight up pocket passer because he just wasn't developing that way. And as part of his development right now is, and part of what he offers as quarterback is his legs. And I'm not gonna fault anybody who has a problem with the way that happened. It's just not ideal. And like, when you guys bring up, well, Josh Allen never gets hurt or Lamar's not hurt, those are just special athletes, and this is just a freak accident, or just, again, a freak injury. But yeah, it's hard to sift through and go to positives and everything. And anybody who's lapping it up and laughing or whatever, I'm not going to address it. You're just, an awful person, because, again, if this was the other way around and it was Jimmy that was hurt, would you be feeling the same way? It's, again, stop being weird. Please just stop being weird. That's all. Let's see. I think we got another donation in here real quick. Brian Boucher, straight up, can Kyle Shanahan's game plan for Trey? I question it. I mean, this is going to be the discussion the entire week. It just is. So prepare yourself for it. The discourse this week is going to be wild. We should be celebrating a 49ers victory, vanquishing a Geno Smith-led Seattle Seahawks team that was clearly just not good. They're just not good. But, is what it is. It's the 49ers were going to do this regardless. They're better. And that's it. They would have done this regardless. So, again, it is what it is. 49ers win. Shout out to everybody in here. Almost 450 people in here. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for when we go live. Let's see. Let's go through it. Jimmy is going to get Kyle fired. Tia Vice. I don't know, man. I do say this. The expectations of this team completely changed now. Now it needs to be if you thought this team was ready to go with a Super Bowl roster and you expected Trey to do that, then how do you feel about the guy running it back? This changes things. I think certain people were going to be fine with whatever the outcome of the season was, as long as Trey took steps. But for people who are complaining about a Super Bowl roster, well, it's right in front of you now. So they aren't wasting it, or however you want to put it. So next week, Denver Broncos, home opener. Denver's looking like shit right now. Patrick Surtain's injured. Jerry Jeudy's injured. Who knows if they're going to play next week? Winning 13-9 with 9:48 to go in the fourth quarter at home. So again, this league is so week to week. When you open up the schedule, you look at certain games and you're like, man, this team's going to be good. This team's going to be good. We don't know until they start playing games. So Denver's next. Russell Wilson, 11 of 25, 173, a touchdown and a pick. That's not good, man. What was Russ cooking? I don't know. So, but yeah, at the same time, is Denver the team that we thought they would be? We don't know yet. But next week is going to be Sunday Night Football. You should expect this team to compete at a high level. I mean, the defense played incredible today. Again, the offense wasn't exactly formidable, but at the same time, they played great. They played great, man. They played great. So, Let's see. How long until Jimmy's hurt? Let's not, talk about that, but this is just a gut punch. I feel bad. Yeah, like this is bittersweet. Like, yeah, the 49ers get back in the win column. They win a home opener, 1-1. Cool. Like you feel good about that. Like that feels good. It's just again, at what cost? At what cost? Devin Smith, thank you for the donation. For Jimmy G lovers, no excuse now. Super Bowl roster. Kind of what I was saying. Like at this point, appreciate the donation, bro. Kind of the same thing. Like you can't in one breath tell me about a Super Bowl roster that was going to be wasted on Trey Lance and not tell me that this team should be competing for a Super Bowl, right? Am I doing this right? Like I just want to know if I'm doing this right. And if I'm not, let me know. Because now there's no development for Jimmy. Jimmy's just who he is, and they're gonna run it back, right? Like run the ball, right? And let Jimmy make plays. All he does is win. Well, let's see it. This is what we're gonna do now. Bunless Hot Dog. I like the name. It's pretty funny. Thank you for the donation. It is now Super Bowl or bust. This is Jimmy's team again. Jimmy fans, he best get it done. You wanted it. You got it. Quest for 6. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. If this team doesn't make the playoffs, if this team gets bounced by an inferior team in the NFC playoffs, you got what you wanted. Whether you want to say it or not. If you want to come in here and like, you come in here and you're like trolling and you're like saying this and that, it's clear what you wanted. You got it. So let's see. Let's see. I think you got what you wanted, right? Michael Young, can't save money now. Jimmy's going to hit all incentives. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. The cap hit is going completely up at this point. Yes. And thank you for the donation, Michael Young. I think a lot of people have that lost. He's going to hit all incentives now for play snaps, all that stuff. So now the money goes up. But again, he won't be on the roster next year. There's going to be an increase in cap. So, but yeah. But again, hard to be that upset when it's Jimmy Garoppolo as the backup. It's not Brock Purdy. It's not Nate Sudfeld. So again, you get to bring a guy back who understands everything. You're going to game plan around him next week. And to be fair, he came in and he played well, man. For a guy who hasn't played in a long time, he played well. He played well. Give it to him. That was Jimmy Garoppolo. That's just what it is. Like you've come to expect what you've expected. And I think that's what a lot of people wanted to see in Trey Lance is the unexpected. That's it. So, I mean, it's fine. It is what it is. I don't know why people are saying like, oh, Jason feeling sour. I'm just speaking. Like, does it sound like I'm like, blacking out or anything like that? Or like, I think you're just making stuff up if you're in here like, yelling in the comments about me. I think I'm being very level-headed about it. I don't think that I have a wild take about it at all. I think it's very bittersweet what's happening right now. I think it's fair to say that, and still fair to say, hey, this team is still on target for where they want to go. I mean, the Cardinals were getting boat race. I don't know what's going on with them right now. I think the game's a little bit closer. There's a strong possibility the 49ers are going to be tied for first. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? That's it. My face is red. My face is always red, Sean. Shut your ass up. Anyway, at the same time, it is what it is. The 49ers are going to be tied for first. They're going to be a team that has an electric defense that didn't really give up points last week unless it was on busted plays. They still look like the defense we all thought it was going to be. And they took care of an inferior opponent today. I think all of those things are true, and I think we expected all of those things. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, man. They won a game, and they're ready to move. Like, that's it. Pedro says 23-15 Raiders. Oh, so the game's a lot closer. But for a while there, the Cardinals looked real bad. I mean, also the Rams. I think the Rams were I don't know how the Rams game is going, but it was like moving the other way, like with the Falcons. So yeah, I don't sound sad. I don't understand what everybody's talking about. I'm just speaking. Like, what did you want me to come on here and do? Yell and scream? Like, what is there to yell and scream about? The 49ers won. Like you feel bad for the kid. That's fine. You never want to see any of your players get injured. Like, are we supposed to just like be like, oh my God, we're so excited. This feels bittersweet. Like, what's wrong with saying that? Like, I don't understand. Oh, Rams won. Okay. So 1-1. So everybody's going to be 1-1 by the end of this. Or, Arizona might be 0-2. So, but look, again, this team, their season's not lost. Their season is not lost because of Jimmy Garoppolo. Let's say that. Let's say that out loud for sure. Like, I don't get it. Think Kyle can talk Alex Mack out of retirement. Yeah, Jake Brendel, man. Who? I got to go back and look at it. Felt like the air was taken out of the stadium with the Trey Lance thing, but I mean, you got to go back and watch. I was trying to watch it on Get Playback. Shout out to everybody that was in there. But it's hard to make sweeping statements when you haven't been able to watch it back. But I mean, Jimmy's going to be what he is. He's going to be steady. This team is going to win games while he's under center, and that's all that you can ask for at this point. It's just the people that have these stronger statements. That's what I really have an issue with about, Super Bowl roster being wasted with Jimmy Garoppolo, but they haven't won one yet. So he's got one more shot. Last ride, right? Run it back. Last dance, something like that. Yeah, that's it. I mean, it is what it is at this point. Hope Trey Lance gets better fast. All of these discussions now are going to be shifted to next year. Everybody's going to regurgitate the same BS about Trey Lance, about not playing. And I think that that's a bit unfortunate. And it overshadows a very good team win in terms of defense. Aside from that one special teams play, everything else was good. Seattle's not good, by the way. So we should be dancing on their grave as well, too, because they stink. Like they're not good. They're cooked now. Like Russell Wilson ain't walking through that door. Devin Smith, thank you for the donation. We'll win games. Don't think we'll win the Super Bowl, though. I don't know that yet. I'm not sure about that yet. Again, this is why you can't make sweeping statements about what's going on, because teams aren't who they are, right? Like a team could look like a world beater. They lose somebody that changes their outlook. That's why you play all the 17 games. And again, like I said, rarely the best quarterback, the best roster, or the best coach wins the Super Bowl. That's just not how this game works. Everything else, it comes down to there is a bit of luck into winning the Super Bowl. That's why there's only one Super Bowl winner and 31 other teams that don't win it. So, yeah, I mean, Wilson isn't looking good in Denver either. Exactly, Pedro. Like, everybody would have looked at this game with Denver. If they would have come out and cooked the Texans, everybody would have said, man, you're walking into a really, tight situation. I don't think anybody feels like that right now. But that doesn't mean that Denver won't come out playing hard, so the 49ers have to be ready. The good news is the 49ers season and that locker room doesn't have to drop in any way. Doesn't have to drop, like, in terms of, oh, my God, our season's done. Like, if it was Brock Purdy, if it was Nate Sudfeld, this feels even worse. Even worse. But it's not. It's Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, Jimmy Garoppolo still, like I said, I will stand on it. It's still a starting quarterback in this league. Best backup because he's a starting quarterback. And I believe that. And that's where he will be. He's going to be right back here. This team loves him. They're going to play for him. Guarantee Kittle's going to be back next week. So there we go. Like, here we go. Like, we're moving. Like, Jimmy's going to be the quarterback. You've got to just rally around that, and that's it. Regardless of your feelings, and I'm going to say this to the people that, like, really dislike Jimmy Garoppolo, regardless of your feelings, you got to rally around him. Like, you just got to. You got to, man. So, yeah, it's time to go. This is where we're at. Thank God things played out the way that they did, because from everything that was said, the 49ers were looking to move him, and now they haven't, and now they can just keep going. So, yeah, Kittle's going to be back next week, like, for sure, right? Like, people see it. Yeah. So it is what it is, man. Bunless Hot Dog, thank you for the donation again. I love that name. It's so funny. Aponte, so next year is Lance rookie year. Can we, and excuse my text, stop with the stupid QB power? Rather have scrambles than that crap. You know what, man? The hot take that everybody's going to have is that this is all on Kyle, right? And everybody, and I guess for some good reason, right? But at the same time, there has to be some way that you can get value out of the quarterback if he's not delivering from the pocket, right? Like, if he's not delivering the ball on time, right? And that you know what, man? Today, Jimmy made some throws that I was like, man, there it is. Like, like a guy in his face, ball's out, it's there, right? Like again, Jimmy today was exactly what Jimmy's been. Like, you see some throws where you're like, there it is. Like, oh, wow, that looked amazing. And then there's some throws where you're like, what the hell was that? Who was that to? But at the same time, you got to learn to live with that. You can't ask Lance to do things that right now wouldn't be efficient for the team, things like that. So, Kyle felt the best way was to get it with his legs, get some first downs that way. We're going to argue about that all week. I'm going to put that on the back burner. I'm going to let you guys argue about that. So, Michael Everett, I think this is a great point. Thank you for the donation. It doesn't matter who throws the ball, the Niners are our team. Yeah, that's it. That's it, man. I mean, at this point, there's nothing more that you can do at this point. You shouldn't be on such extreme levels where you're upset that you have a very good, capable backup, a starter core. So, like, you shouldn't be that far. Like, again, I've discussed this many times. The Jimmy Garoppolo discourse has grown too far on two sides. The people who think he's this and the people who think he's this. He's neither of these things. He's somewhere in the middle. And I think that's fine to discuss. And I think that's fine to look at that. I think if you're being real with yourself, then you realize that Jimmy Garoppolo is a starter in this league. He is 15 or I would say even 13 to 17, 18, depending on the week that you ask him for. That's it. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. And at the same time, you can be sad because the kid who was going to get all the reps and put another year under his belt more than anything is going to lose another year. And that's it. Like, I don't see why this has to be any sort of extreme. And this is why when people were so upset that Jimmy Garoppolo was coming back, this is why while this has happened, they were kind of forced into this, but you couldn't have asked for at least a little bit of a better situation like this than this, right? There are no better quarterbacks than Jimmy Garoppolo in the league. Stop. There aren't. That's why. Like right now, this team, and I can't wait for national media tomorrow. Like, I cannot wait for national media tomorrow. Like they are literally going to run with this and say, this is exactly what they should have been doing. Like it's literally like cut and paste. Like there's no way to like talk about it like other. But this team isn't cooked. And I think that's the one thing that we can grasp out of this terrible situation. They're not cooked. Like that's it. So like you just got to roll with it. There's going to be games where Jimmy's going to make you scratch your head and say, what the hell was that? But there's going to be games where Jimmy, plays well, and we're going to have to roll with that. That's it. You can't be too far on any extreme of this argument, one way or another. You really can't. Like, that's the part that kind of bothers me. It's like, you can't make definitive statements one way or another, especially when this league is so unpredictable in week to week. So the team that looks like a world beater in week 2, by week 16, they're fried. There's a team that looks terrible right now in week 2. They're Super Bowl contenders because they're sneaking in and they're playing hot. Some of that stuff, like, you guys have to, like, leave room for all that. You can't be speaking absolutes in week 2. So that's it. Like, that's it. So let's go. Like, let's go. Like, this is where we're at. Feel bad for the kid. Feel terrible. Feel terrible that he's not going to have another year of this. But Jimmy Garoppolo's here. And now this team can move and still keep the aspirations that many people wanted, that all of us wanted. I didn't have Super Bowl aspirations when Trey was there because I understood the whole idea of development. But now we can shift back to that. So now every week it should be like that. You should feel like that. If you feel that Jimmy was the best option to win, then why isn't it get right back to the Super Bowl? Like, that's it. Like, that's it. So, like, that's all. Like, nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. And Sean, I appreciate that, bro. I don't want to get into a back and forth. I appreciate everybody that's in here trying to be level-headed. That's all. Like, that's all I want to do. And I think that it's the only thing that you can do at this point. You can feel bad for the kid, but you can also look at this team as still a team that is going to move because of Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, I don't know how best I can put it. I mean, I feel like I've been reiterating myself over and over. That's all. Shout out to everybody that's in here. 415 people in here, almost 30 minutes in. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for when we go live. Shout out to Jets game. Big win today against the Browns, huh? Joe Flacco, 31-30. Like that, man. But hey, this is, I understand the fan base that we talk about, that we pander to when we do this content. And, look, there is a anxiety to finally win a Super Bowl. And I get that portion of it. I do, man. I really do. I do. I was old enough to remember the last one. It's been a long time. 49ers have been on a quest for 6 for a long time. That's it. But, you can still say that you feel at least somewhat good about this team, or you feel like they can move in that direction while still feeling bad for the kid. That's all. That's all. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. So that's it. I mean, it's hard to, for me to be super excited about this when I know it's less about the injury because the kid's 22. He'll be able to bounce back no matter what it is. I did see the ankle like pointing the other way like Dak. So that means, significant ankle injury. He's not going to play this year, but he'll bounce back. He'll be fine. He's going to move on, and that'll be next year. But this team is still not like lost. And I think that's the comforting part of this. That's it. It's just comforting. So again, defense played very well. Love it. Got bailed out sometimes on some flags like that long pass with DK. But again, Seattle needs to do those things because they're inferior. Like, they're not good. Man. So again, everything's back on schedule when it comes to playoff aspirations, all of those things. That's it. So, I don't know, what else needs to be said at this point. I just feel gutted for the kid, man. Can't imagine what's going through his head. I feel gutted like this when another team's quarterback goes down. Imagine my own. So, yeah, I mean, that's it. Do we pick up a veteran backup? So Kyle Niner fan says. Nate Sudfeld's out there. I don't know, man. I just, a lot of people are going to run to the post game, and you know what? I think the press conference, and I think that I should cut it probably now so you guys can do that, so you guys can hear Kyle Shanahan and what he has to say, because I'm sure people are going to ask questions that you want to hear, not just me just speaking, but thank you guys for tuning in. But yeah, I'm going to probably end it here. 30 minutes. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for tapping in. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell Fortunately, we feel bad for Trey. Bittersweet win, but this team moves forward with Jimmy Garoppolo, so it's time to rally around that guy, and it's time to understand that this is where the team is going at this point. Like, that's it. So appreciate you, Zach. Jason better than Kyle. Greenlaw got a 2-year suspension, 2-year extension. Cool, man. Good. I'm glad he's back, man. Good for him, man. Hopefully they find a way to bring Al-Shaair. But yeah, man, it is what it is. It's hard to be excited about this. I mean, not hard. I mean, it's be excited because now you know what this team is going to be doing, and you know what this should be. You know what this team should be going forward. But at the same time, you got to feel bad for the kid. That's all, man. Like, I feel bad for the kid. So, but shout out to all you guys, man. Shout out to everybody who pulled up and they subscribed. Appreciate you guys, man. Maybe, therapy, they say, is good. Getting it out is good. And I felt like that was a good way to do it. But, tap in tomorrow, sprint right option, all of that. You know what's going on the channel this week, man. Appreciate you guys so much. And it looks like the Dallas Cowboys and Bengals are going to be going to overtime. But shout out to all you guys, man. Go watch that press conference. Enjoy the rest of your day. And as always, let's go Niners. Welcome, everybody. Let's go Niners. My name is Jason Aponte.